Happens sometimes, I will now need to be brief. I was trying to do my own personal introduction. My name is Wale Ajisafe. Basically, I'm from Nigeria. I'm a communicator. I call myself a communicator in the sense that I preach, I speak, I teach, and I write. So every form of engagement that has to do with communication, I'm practically involved there. So I'm a pastor, first by calling and ordination, and I'm a public speaker by passion and interest. Then I'm a researcher by profession. So that's why I call myself a polymatic communicator because I bring different kind of body of knowledge together depending on the audience I'm engaging with. So tonight I have, it's tonight for you in Nigeria, in another part of Africa. It's still afternoon for me. This is 1:40 p.m. in my home place, Starkville, Mississippi, United States. And of course, again, if you can put on your videos, I will appreciate. In a moment, we have to make it very engaging, and I would like to be fast. Now, pay attention. What I'm about to teach you now, if you understand it, I can bet you that you will definitely experience a positive turnaround. You will definitely experience a positive turnaround. Sometimes also it matters who I'm speaking with. It's not everything I can just be teaching out as we expect. If we have those number of people registered for meeting and they are not here, so those of you who are here, I will try as much as I can not to still dimension what I want to teach into a level that will be too dilute or diluted. You get what I'm saying? Because I read through the number of people who registered, where they are standing in life, and to that degree is the kind of communication I am bringing on board. But most of those people now who indicated interest, they are not even here. But it is what it is. I'll still try as much as I can, but depending on your engagement, no doubt, I can decide to bring 10% of what I want to share, and we end this meeting. In any case, you will still be blessed. You will still feel good because you will definitely have value for your time. All right. In a moment, can we just pray? Lord, we bless your name. We give you praise. We thank you because you are good. Of your fullness have we received grace even for grace. We bless you for everything required to live a life of godliness and fullness. They are from you. And so this moment is your spirit of the living God. I ask that you take preeminence, cause the word of my mouth to be like the pen of a ready writer. Let there be inscription of valuable content on the soul of men this day. Let there be an imprint that will take them from where they are to where they ought to be. See to it, Father, that this moment is registered as a moment of transformation. Blessed be your name, oh God. In Jesus' mighty name I've prayed. Amen. All right. Also, I want to tell you that Masterpiece will not be joining us again tonight for some reasons. There's a conference going on in London. It's a physical meeting. And moving from one point to another, he still messaged me. He wanted to make himself available by every means. But the idea, the ideation, the conception of the whole meeting is mine. So the topic I gave to him, I could teach it myself, right? I just wanted him to share certain perspective, especially for people because he's in United Kingdom, I'm in the United States, and as such, I saw that a lot of our people have, uh, will I call it easier access to United Kingdom. So when somebody from that area is speaking, they will understand that I'm not being biased in my statement. So we are still going to have Masterpiece again in another exclusive communication because Borderless is not going to be once and for all meeting. It's going to be once and again meeting. The only thing I can guarantee is the next phase of Borderless and Limitless. I'm not sure it's going to be free, but Summit of the Creative will be free. We sponsor that from our pocket. Every of my mentorship, they are free. I've done that for over 5 years and so on. But it is what it is. So this moment, I want to speak to you on Limitless and Borderless as a broad theme. Don't let me pick a topic. Let me just speak directly to the matter. First, everyone on this platform, with the exception of none, all of you are from Nigeria. Amazingly, we have people registered from UK, US, on the platform. At least I saw two guys that I know in the United States when they sent me the form, but they are not here now. So it's easier to dimension this conversation into a usable and transferable idea that all of you can work with. I lived in Nigeria for 3 decades, and I engage in that system. So I understand what that system means beyond anything anybody can be saying to me. Now, I'm not saying I know everything, but I'm saying I engage with that system that anything I'm saying, I understand it. Not ASA, not like a guesswork. I relate, I engage with that system. I school there, I work there. Who is that person now? People are just funny, right? So I live there, I engage there, I work there, I got married there, I did ministry work there. We did all kinds of stuff there, right? So I can relate with what is happening there. Let me give you some basic background so that you know where you are standing. Let me give you, when we talk about nations, the concept of humanity is a global idea to start with. But biologically, because the color of our complexion due to melanin, right, level, some are black, some are white, and so on and so forth. But if you put the brain of a black man and the brain of a white man, and you take it through ECG, if you measure the neurons in biologically or scientifically, there is no significant difference in what the capacity of the two brains you achieve. However, it is evidently clear to everyone that those who appear to have different complexion have been able to transform their world better than those who are black. So the long and short of it is that there is an ideology that the people, otherwise known as first world countries, there is an idea that they have been able to host over the years that the people in the third world have not been able to experience. And that is the reason why it's now looking like the color of skin is impacting on the capacity of the brain, which is not true. So if you can get the idea, now I requested that if you can on your video, you should on it. There's no feedback, no response. If you won't be able to on it, you should indicate in your chat. So it shows to me also that majority of you who are here, you have been affected predominantly by the lifestyle of your geography. By the lifestyle of your geography. And it's going to affect the limit of what you can do. So I'm still talking about human demography, right? Now, not until 1917, anything called border was not until 19th century rather, anything called border was not in existence. So before the 19th century, human race experienced a level of freedom, high level of liberty, such that you can decide that I want to leave Nigeria and go to Ghana. I want to leave Nigeria and go to United States. I want to leave Nigeria and go to United Kingdom. I want to leave Nigeria and go to Canada. If you have the means of transportation that can take you from where you are to where you want to be, there is nothing at all that can stop you. But the moment we got to 19th century, everything changed. So nations began to introduce access, document. If you want to come into their territory, nations began to have border, began to build fences. They began to make different kind of restriction to other countries. So in this United States, today is the independence celebration of United States, that July 4, 1776. If I'm not mistaken, that should be 248 years today. But you see, in that 248 years of independence, it was just 1917 that United States started operating visa. Just 1917 here. So meaning that before 1917, anybody could have access to United States. They will just check you if there are people at different entry point of entry, and you move like that. So because of the issue of border, when we got to 1945, after World War II, United Nations now have their peace convention, and visa issuing went mainstream. So every nation, even the poorest country, there are places they still want to issue visa for people to enter. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, the moment border has come in, human being naturally became limited by geography. So you cannot exercise the liberty God has given to you naturally, the liberty of expression, the liberty of moving from one point to the other. Now not necessarily relocation. It is the idea that you can make what you have in Nigeria to transit where you are to other part of the world. Enough of this chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Just pay attention to what I'm saying. Now, since border is already in operation, there is nothing we can't discontinue operation of visa to gain access to other countries now. So what then should you do? Because the moment visa is in operation, it means there you cannot by your own free will decide the countries to go to. It is those countries that would decide if you can enter their own territory or not. Are you getting the point I'm trying to make now? So that is the issue of border. Now, which affects different countries in different proportion. Now, guess what? As a Nigerian, all over the world, we have 195 registered countries with the United Nations. If you have Nigeria passport, there are only 28 countries you can enter in the world, 60 ECOWAS countries, then 12 other third world countries. Those are the places where you can enter with Nigeria passport. But guess what? If you bear American passport today, you can enter at least 150 to 155 countries out of 193 without visa or with visa at the point of entry. They call it visa on arrival. So you see that the concept of visa does not affect everybody equally. So an average American, therefore, does not need to stress if there is a need for that individual to get anything done in 150 to 155 nations. Is just to get flight ticket, book the flight and go. You can't do that as a country. As a Nigerian, where you are there, you can't even enter South Africa. You can't do that. So if you can't even enter South Africa, just to enter alone and come back to your house, how then can you build something inside South Africa? So if you can't enter UK until you are stressed to the last part of your life, how can you have a stake in the government of United Kingdom? If you can't enter America at will, how can you have a stake in what is happening in America? So it becomes a major issue that we need to really look at. So that is the first issue of being bordered with visa. Then I am now here to teach on how you can be borderless in your operation. Such that in spite of the existing borders, your own operation will be beyond those limitations. So that's where limitless comes in. When we say limitless and unlimited, they are not the same thing. There is no unlimited person. But we are saying you can reduce your limitations. That is why it is called limitless, less of limits. Is that clear enough now? Not really unlimited. Everybody has a limit to your operation. There's no unlimited person, you are not God. But you can reduce your limitations, and as such, you become limitless. Just a second, please. So are we together now? So that is the idea. Then that's about geography. Then about your person. I've paid a lot of attention to the movement of trends in the whole world. Like I wrote when I made a post about this meeting, the description given to third world countries in the global scheme of things is that you are consumers and underdogs. Don't let me even say you are, we. It is something about us. We are all involved here. So when they are deliberating in the Committee of Nations, every one of you here, including myself, every one of us here, you are classified as a consumer and an underdog. Who is an underdog? An underdog is an individual, all right, that is involving in a competition but with the least of chance to win. A typical example would be that Manchester United want to come and play with Sunshine Stars of Akure. You know, the moment you have Manchester United playing directly against the Sunshine Stars of Akure, even Mighty David is smiling that what kind of pairing is that, right? So everybody literally will conclude that Sunshine Star of Akure, they are going to lose. That's what it means to have underdog. But that does not mean they can't win if Manchester United decide to play rough play and those guys decide to train extra mile. But we know that the odds are against Sunshine Stars of Akure more than the odds are against the Manchester United Football Club team. Is somebody get what I'm saying? So in that same pedestal, on the global scheme, you are considered as somebody with least advantage. And if you think it's an insult, it's very simple. Put the name of your family, right, on Google today. Just type your surname on Google. Then check the result that will come out. The moment you check result that comes out, it will be clear to you how far you are to have what we call global presence. You will just understand. Let's flip it to something you can relate with. Has any billionaire come out from your local government in the history of humanity? Let's even say a billionaire in dollar, in naira, not even in dollar, because a billionaire in naira now is a millionaire in dollar. So have you had any of that kind of person in your entire local government? If there is none, so who is telling you that if you are thinking the way everybody is thinking in your environment, you are not going to be the first person? Because there is something called culture. Culture, we define it as the way of life. That's it. That's the social study definition. Culture is that which is already in operation, that you are naturally inducted into it to determine how far you can go in life without your consent. That is why those who were raised by parents who are teachers, they just understand that, okay, my dad was educated, he graduated from grade school, teachers college, he gained employment. So when you are, the moment you are going to school, you are being prepared to graduate to go and look for a job. But that's not the idea of your age mate in Silicon Valley, in California. No, that's not what the person is thinking. So culture is that which has been fabricated to determine your operation without your consent. So you just grow into it. Evidently, a lot of choices you now make, you think you are the one making the choice. No, you are not the one making the choice. Your choices have been arrested by your environment and the predominant voices around you. But today, we are not here to come and celebrate problems. We are here to discuss how do we chart the course for way forward from this natural situation. And I must say, none of us chose where we were born, so we can't mourn it. If it were to be something we could choose by ourselves, we could have taken responsibility that, if it is by choice, I wouldn't have chosen to be born in Ogbagi by myself. That's not possible. But since I can't choose that, it is now my duty under God to navigate my way from wherever I was born to where God wants me to be. Because the whole world, right, is what God is saying, not just your geography alone. The idea is humanity. The idea is universality. The idea is global, not just local. It is the system, because you have to start from somewhere. That is the one that is predominantly local. So if you now decide to remain local, it is your choice, not the fault of God. So that is about that. So where you are standing, you are considered as consumer, and it's very glaring. Just go and check everything you guys are eating, the food you are eating. Okay, because we are agrarian state, take away the food you are eating. All of you in this room right now, If you check the clothes you are wearing, it will amaze you that some of the clothes you are even putting on, they are imported to the country. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So at that level, you realize that you are limited naturally. I was going through something recently, and somebody was talking about Harvard University. And the man said, are you aware that there is no graduate of Harvard that is poor? I said, well, I don't have data to accept what he was saying, either as right or wrong. But I know that it will be hard for a graduate of Harvard to be poor. Do you know why? Can somebody just tell me why it will be hard for that person to be poor? If you finish from Harvard, can somebody make a guess why it will be practically hard for you to be poor? Can you think about it? You can put it in the chat room. Why do you think? The man said there is no poor Harvard graduate. I don't have statistics to justify that, but I believe that it will be very hard for somebody to graduate from Harvard and still be poor. But I'm asking you, why do you think it will be hard? Okay, Ben is saying the person's mindset will have been affected by the environment. Okay, Olawale is saying the environment, association, and exposure. Nice one. Who else is bring up the point? Bring up the point. I'm loving your thought process now. We still have more points. Apart from what you all have said, and everything you guys have indicated, they are very correct. Environment, fantastic. Exposure, okay. Precious is saying the knowledge gained from the institution, fantastic. Ifeoluwa is saying individual's disposition, fantastic. Kemisola says connection and exposure to opportunities. You guys, you have just killed the point. You guys, you have killed the point. Molaya is saying the personal choices made, relationship, and spiritual submission. God says because the environment doesn't give room for mediocrity. Amazing. All right, we can stop it there. Thank you all for those wise submissions. The first thing is not just what they are even teaching you in the curriculum. It is first what the environment is doing to your mind. So there is an environment you get to, your entire fabric is challenged. You just understand. In fact, you may feel awkward to be in that room. I bet you now, no matter the development you are giving to yourself, I bet you, there are rooms, if you enter right now, you won't know when you will be trying to hide inside the chair. You will feel this room is too big for you. They call it imposter syndrome. You may be feeling, what am I doing in this room? The reason why you will ever feel that way is because where you are coming from never mirror that kind of possibilities for you. So the first thing happening in Harvard University, it is not even the curriculum. It is first the possibilities that are painted on your mind. The possibilities that are what? That are painted on your mind. That's the reason why go and meet average graduate of Covenant University in Nigeria. Now, I say average graduate, not those boys that were in school that were not trained. They were just in school, doing mommy's pets. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those who really went to Covenant University. There is a minimum level of courage, charisma, and excellence that characterize all of them. You can't see, you see, in this, where I live right now, is a Jamaican that barbs my hair. And he barbs well for me as far as I'm concerned. So I like going to him. So the guy was telling me recently, he said, anytime I barb an African, he said, I've observed, majority of you guys cannot stand upright under the clipper. I'm telling you the truth. I said, why do you say that? He said, average African guy, they would do his head like this when he's barbing. He said Is it that life has bowed you guys so much that you even feel you need to also still bow to a Baba? And I said to him, I said, it's not the fault of the people you are babbing. I said, if an average salary, if you enter average salary in Africa and you are not doing your head, they will be conking your head as a young person that, Oga, bend your head very well. Bend your head very well. So your environment compromise everything called confidence. Your parents will be meeting with people who don't have any weight in global scheme of things. They will ask you to leave the sitting room to go and sit in the room. Just one headmaster from one primary school, whose entire gross salary in a service is not up to 10 million. Everything the person is going to earn in 35 years of service is not up to 10 million. That individual will enter a room. You are 15, they will ask you to get out. Now, I'm not saying elderly people should have meetings and you should go and sit down there. But this many a times it's not that they have any meeting. They just feel you are not qualified for it. But guess what? 15 years old children are taken to national summit where they are seeing the mayors of their counties and they are having handshakes with them. You see 10 years old person hugging the governor of the state. Hey, you, how are you? Everybody's talking to each other. So you now expect that you are coming from there and this other guy, you will reason the same way. That's practically impossible. All right, but don't let us go into much of stories. So your environment has affected you practically. Now, worst case scenario is that you now gain admission to university. That's why I didn't make this in public for those who have not gone to school. I want to deal with those who are the context of what I'm talking about. What your school is supposed to prepare you for, unfortunately, is not what they are preparing you for now. It's not what they're preparing you for. Because the curriculum of the school right now across the globe is designed with an agenda. And the agenda of education from the start is supposed to be with a goal to bring liberation. But the current day is not for liberation. The current day is to give you what is called structural slavery. It is a structural slavery, such that we will now give you a pseudo exposure that will give you a false impression that you are doing better than your equals. You know, when you graduate from school, you have your colleagues who have not been able to gain admission to IFE, gain admission to Ahmadu Bello University, gain admission to UNILAG. You naturally just feel privileged. Or will I say you feel on top of the world at 17, I'm now in part 1. You are in part 1 doing what? Studying whatsoever. I read industrial chemistry. Then in part 2, they have only been defining for you definitions that have been crafted out in 70s. And they will teach you all those definitions theoretically without bringing you to the ideation of how the concepts are formed. So in school, the more you learn, the more you just accept that those who have written this textbook that I'm reading, they are better than me. You see the way people used to, there is something they call engineering mathematics in the university. People carry the textbook like engineering mathematics, engineering mathematics. Unconsciously, you are meant to agree. Why should engineering mathematics be difficult for you to understand what was written by a human being? So are you getting what I'm saying now? So by the time you are done, if you cram it and you have a very good grade, and let me say this to you, part of limitless option is for you to graduate with good grades. I will get there. If you have graduated and you didn't come out with good grades, that's not the end of life. Bill Gates was speaking in a graduation ceremony in the United States recently, and he told the people, he said, some of the guys that finished with lower grades in your class, he said, pay attention to them. He was telling the best students. He said, because chances are that some of you will work for them. He told them clearly in the graduation. He said, please pay attention to these guys. I know you are likely going to look down on them. He said, but the chances are that part of you will work for one of them. But let's be practical. If you pick 100 first-class graduates anywhere in the world, and you pick 100 third-class graduates, by the time you will already have 40 successful first-class graduates, you will struggle to have 10 successful third-class graduates anywhere in the world. I've done my mathematics. But because the 5 to 10 among the third class that will do well, they will share their stories so loud, then about 50% of the first class who don't understand how to reinvent themselves in the larger society, they will be giving credence to the assumption of people that grades in life do not matter. I'll give the balance to what I'm saying. Just pay attention. But today, let's come and look at it. The African Developmental President, that is Dr. Akiwumi Adesina, is a first-class graduate of Agric Economics from Obafemi Awolowo University. Are you listening to that? If you look at the director at World Bank there, the one we have there, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is a first-class graduate of economics from Harvard University. And I can keep mentioning the name of these people for you. Now, but we also know that someone like Kunle Shorian, who is now among the sought-after thought leaders and futurists from Africa, finished with third class from Unilag. Are you saying that? We also knew that Professor Wole Soyinka did not finish with a good grade from, I think, was it OAU, I don't know, or University of Ibadan. So when you talk about those two people, people give themselves consolation, not knowing that when you have two from that grade level, you will have seen 20 from the grade level they are telling you do not matter. Let's make the conversation bigger. Do you know the easiest way to migrate from third world to first world country? The easiest and the cheapest way is through education. Are you guys aware that that is the easiest way? I have very fantastic grade. There is this young man that finished from from University of Ibadan. He was doing bachelor's degree in pharmacy while I was doing masters. While I was doing masters in farm care. His name is Adebisi. Do you know this guy? He was not even the best student in their set. Don't let me just go ahead of myself so that I can build my case well for you to know how to apply yourself. But guess what? This guy is not the best student in their set. But the moment he finished from UI, they gave him admission to come and do masters in Cambridge University. Do you know what that means? To come and do masters in Cambridge University. As he was wrapping up the masters, is it Cambridge or Oxford? They also gave him another collaboration with Johns Hopkins. These are the topmost universities, Ivy League universities all over the world. Because this guy understood something that some of his people did not understand. But we are going to get there. So your environment actually did not prepare you for global relevance. You were prepared for survival. You were prepared for survival. And when you choose survival in life, understand that you have diminished your potential and reduced your capacity. The moment you choose survival, I just want to get food to eat. I just want to be fine. I just want to be okay. I want to be better than my people. You have chosen to be below what you should be below. So how then do you move from where you are to this limitless and borderless reality we are talking about? How do we do that? Number one, I'm now listing my points, and that's where I'm going to tie it down. But pay attention clearly. You need to commence your invention journey very early. You need to commence your reinvention journey very early. Everybody in the world needs reinvention, but people from disadvantaged environment, they need it more gently, like an emergency. You know, a friend of mine, we are here together in MS. He went to, you can register to be a judge in what we call science exhibition. So my friend, we are doing PhD together. He now registered to be a judge in a secondary school science exhibition. When he returned from there, we were doing the review of the program, and he told me he was very, very pained. I said, why were you pained? He saw an idea that a teenager presented as a project he would like to work on. He said he was asking himself, even as a PhD student who is 30 years old, that can I conceive the idea that this 13 years old boy conceived? By the virtue of his doctoral program, he was there on the panel to judge the guy. And definitely he was going to award marks, but he left the place at 30 being challenged by less than 14 years old boy. And he was very practical to tell me that, to be honest, can I think to get the idea this guy was thinking? I said, you are being too hard on yourself. How do you expect to think like that guy? I said, after all, we can see this thing. I said, go and check what they were doing in their primary schools. And go and check what you are doing in your primary school. In your own primary school, you were saying haja, be better. Those were the things they were teaching you. So when you were doing haja, be better, I said, go and look at the alphabetical representations they are giving to these people. I said, so you, that they configure your mind to be looking for haja, and your haja only has relevance in six states in Nigeria. That is only in Yoruba land. I said, so how do you expect? This is summer now. I was in our college last month, and they brought some primary school students to the College of Veterinary Medicine for summer school. Of course, it's a visitation. You see their teachers there. If you just stay around to see what they are showing these children, you will just understand why they believe that when the products are made here, let us go and sell it to them in third world. Let's take it to Africa. Let's take it to Bangladesh. Let's take it to all those countries that are supposedly poor. Because the reasoning is not the same. So the first thing, commence your reinvention very early. Now, when I talk about reinvention, I can't teach it. I wrote 30,000 words on reinvention. That's your network, Mighty David, I believe. I believe other people can hear me. Mighty David is saying that my voice is breaking. But I believe that it's his own network. All right, thank you. So I wrote a book on that. And I will advise, this is not my launching program. Launching is on Saturday, and I'm inviting you to come and join us 5 p.m. Nigeria time on Sunday, right? So I wrote a whole book on that. So let's leave that. Number two, I said commence your reinvention very early. The earlier, the better. Guys, the earlier, the better. Again, I say, guys, the earlier, the better. Again, I say, the earlier, the better. I don't know. Do you know that the same Nigeria you are living in today, a 23-year-old man has been federal minister and governor in the history of that country before? Because today we hear that Macron became president at 33 and people started crying. Can this happen in Nigeria? It has happened before. Go to history and go and check how old Gowon was when he became military head of state in Nigeria. So these people, they ruled the country in their late 20s and early 30s. But today, 30 years old people are still telling you they are still looking for career path. Guys, don't be among them. Don't be among them. See, I run a mentorship platform. Some of them are here. There cannot be anybody on that platform except those who are missing meetings who can get to that, who will need to get to that point in life to know what to do. No, that can't happen. But do you know the reason why people are still looking for themselves at 30? Because they just went to school. There was nothing, they didn't pay attention to what it would take, right, to even find themselves. So they were trained to get jobs. Now the jobs are scarce. What else? Unlimited, limited opportunities with large crowd. You begin to fight each other. Competition setting automatically. Are you seeing that? So you need to comment very early. Decide which aspect of the society do I want to function in. Identify it very early. Today now, I see 40 years old people learning cybersecurity, and I smile. I said, what time do you guys want to practice these things you are learning? Then the next question is, the first 40 years of your life, what did you use it to learn? Are you saying there's nothing you have learned in 40 years that you can transfer into product and service and make it digital? If there's none, it means you have wasted the time. So you need to commence your invention early. Number 2, you must expand your options through knowledge. I know you've been hearing that, but listen to me. In Nigeria, when you open your social media, one of these, there was this Arab king that was talking recently, and the thing went viral. I don't know if some of you will see it. It depends on what you see online. The guy was saying that there are kinds of content you can't see on your social media if you live in that country. I experienced it when I got to the United States. The moment I enter, my phone updates itself. You know how your location changes. Then the HTTPS will reroute. What do you call this thing again? I can't even remember. There is just a way that you are being recognized online, that you are now operating within social jurisdiction. Guys, I tell you, the kind of news that began to show on my phone on this kind of similar website I used to visit in Nigeria, there are higher conversations compared to what I was reading at home. So even your news media, they don't know who is behind. They may know. We don't know who is behind those things, but they are not trained to give you what will make your life better. To test what I'm saying, just go online. Highest read newspaper in Nigeria. You will see that 90% of the content is about gossips. Davido married Chioma. He bought him a new car. So person is not happy with it. That's what you'll be discussing for the following 1 week. Before you finish that discussion, it's going to be conversation between Oshupa Saheed and Pasuma. You are engaged in that for the next 2 weeks. As you are returning from that, Premier League will start. As the Premier League is starting, you are busy watching the football, arguing that no. There is no footballer like Lionel Messi. No, it's Ronaldo. It's the GOAT of all time. As you are busy dealing with that, they will bring BB Niger. So for the next 3 months, those guys will be busy with that. 1 year is over. By December 31st, people will now gather in church and be listening to prophecies. So you will now hear, this year is your year. You say, hey, man, I said, this year is your year. Hey, what's going to be your year there? The question is, what is going to be your year? What exactly have you invested that you are waiting for a return? You've invested nothing because you have spent a major part of your life listening to things that will not profit you. They don't allow that nonsense in other parts of the world. So in knowledge seeking, pay attention. If you have a laptop and a phone, you can keep your location on your phone so that you won't be implicating yourself. But you see on your system, I quote this one and put my name there. I can say it anywhere. They say you people should not use VPN. Go and use VPN on your laptop. Change your location to other country so that you can see what your age mate are seeing in reasonable environments. so that you can read what your age mates are reading in reasonable environments. I tell you guys, if you know the number of hours people spend on social media in Africa, you will be shocked. And I'm telling you that majority of what people are learning on social media is just how to become useless. It is entertainment. Unfortunately, uneducative entertainment. Am I saying you shouldn't go to social media? Why not? I'm there too. Some of you see me there. But if that is where you stay, there is no way you can have, if that's where you stay, consuming rather, because if you have something you are offering there, that can be your standpoint of projection. But if you are just there consuming, I bet you are every day, you are reducing your capacity. I hope you know by the end of this program now that we are doing, you will be older than you were when we started. By the time we would be done with this webinar, you will be older than you are now by that time. So because you are getting old per seconds, not per year, you should be deliberate in what you are investing into your time. So expand your options through knowledge. Number 3, embrace what is called global thinking. If I may ask you, the highest level of idea you have conceived before, you can type it in this room. The highest level of idea you have conceived before. Let us hear. Then let me now ask you this simple question. How could people sit down? They saw birds flying. Birds were flying. And it occurred to them that, do you know we can have something, a vehicle that will be flying in the air like these birds and will be carrying people? That is conception of idea. Then the second one is, when they conceived that kind of brilliant idea, how did they know what to do first? Are you guys seeing this? How did they know what to do first? Haven't you gone to shopping mall and you enter through the ground floor, then to the elevator, and the elevator carries you in few seconds to the 4th floor? Because the way we're raised is to just enjoy anything other people have made. I hope you know that it was not angels that came to build that thing. Then ask yourself, how did they conceive the idea that led to this thing? Then, having conceived the idea, how did they understand what to go and do to lead them into that discovery? Are you seeing that? So the moment you begin to operate this level of thinking, ordinarily, you will leave a lot of your mates behind because you won't feel happy with yourself. You will feel you are too backward. But by feeling you are too backward, you are already too ahead from the people you are living with, because they are not living in the reality of where you are living. They are still where the situation has kept them. But you are already in a zone where you can now host ideas that are beyond you. Only few people operate in this place I'm bringing you to. And I want to believe you are going to be one of them. Let's read what people are writing. Somebody said, commencement of invention journey very early. Expand your options. Those are the things I mentioned. Benjamin Elisomi says, changing the educational system of Nigeria that will allow children to start early. Nice one. That's a good concept. All right. So I've mentioned the 3rd point, right? Then the 4th one is that, okay, I've spoken about that under expand your options through knowledge. The 4th one will be normalize being in the company of top performance. Normalize being in the company of top performance. Oh my God. 2 of my friends, Babs is in Ohio, in Toledo, Ohio, United States, and Kenny is in Lexington, in Kentucky, United States. We were talking one day, and we were just gisting that, do you know that while we were in the university in Nigeria, we believed that only the best students, not just the best students, those who have very high grades, they are the ones who could commence PhD with bachelor's degree. How many of you here also have that kind of belief? That for you to take your BSc to go and commence PhD abroad, you must be like 4.8 out of 5.0 or 4.9. Those were the things they made us believe on campus, which is a lie. The basic requirement for PhD in America is bachelor's degree, full stop. These are information. There's nothing technical in this. But as simple as it is, we were being told the wrong thing. So I was talking about those, my two friends. As PhD students, they now went for a conference. They got to the conference all to realize that a bachelor student from Nigeria who is still in the university was already a recognized volunteer in that conference. And they made him, what do you call this thing? Is he a moderator or something? That guy is still in school. So what took some of us 6 years before we could even find our way to come here, that guy is going to finish service few months later and commence exactly what you have commenced. What exactly is going to bridge that gap? The guy has been able to stay in the company of men who are thinking about where he is, who are doing more than he's doing. Because of that, there's an energy that radiates in terms of network. If you are present there, it will rub off on you. It will rub off on you. It will rub off on you. I spoke about Silicon Valley in one of the videos I released online. And I'm saying, if you get to Silicon Valley in America, every young man you see there, what he's thinking about is, how can I make my idea go around the world? And don't be surprised, that's why Elon Musk, he was in PayPal before he now started his own business. Meanwhile, Elon Musk originally is from South Africa before he became an American. But because he got to the enabling environment, today now is one of the richest people on earth. This is somebody who said the level of exploration he has engaged, that is living exploration of the world, that they now want to go into Galacticus. That they have explored planet Earth to a level that the genius in him now needs to explore another galaxy. So people are now investing millions, billions of US dollars into research into other planets. Then here you are in that same planet, you can't even find what to eat from there. Sometimes I ask myself, what will people tell God when they die of hunger? They will now say, in the world that you sent me to, Ebilo Pamiku. And I know the angels will be wondering that of all things in this world, the least to even bring food to your table, you couldn't figure it out. What then did you now do with all the potentials we give you? So normalize being in the company of those who are doing better than you are. Guys, all those friends you have, some of you move from Igashi, you move from Akunga, you move from Ikare to OAU to study. And when you get to OAU, it is people from Ikire that you are making your best friend. A consciousness has now affected you so much that you only attract your kind. After this meeting, you need to separate from that kind of personality. In our service here, I realized that people from poor background, if they even have connection with those who are coming from good background, they by themselves will not make the relationship work. They say it's not in my league. Who is telling you the person is not in your league? If he's not in your league right now, can't you see that okay, I'm also going somewhere? You are not in my league, that's your assumption. By the time we relate together, you will realize that it's only environment that has seated me. This place this thing in your head is not more functional than mine. So normalize that, guys. Normalize that. So number 6, you need to join functional communities. They have emphasized mentorship in Nigeria, all over the world, but sometimes we don't define all these things very well. Mentorship is not just that I gather people and I'm talking to them. No. Mentorship first is that I have seen something and I understand it clearly, and I can bring other people into understanding. That is the only thing that qualifies you to mentor other people. So you need to be, you see, on campus, in United States, they call it fraternity. They want you people are bastardized in Nigeria. People went to abroad to study. They came back home. Sorority and fraternity, they are not cult groups. It is only in Africa that when they mention fraternity, people begin to talk about cult. So you can Google it after this meeting. When you say sorority and fraternity, these are groups. All those, not union, not pressure groups. I'm talking about associations. Yeah. In Nigeria, you call it student associations. But I'm not talking about FASA, Faculty of Art, all those things. You are doing one thing. Those associations are not as reasonable as I expect them to be. Be part of that, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about communities. When you get to any campus in Nigeria, part of what they will teach you on your orientation, which they do in Nigeria too, is that they will list the kind of different groups available on campus. The idea is that you look at the one whose mission aligns with your goals in life. Join yourself to them. Definitely, those people will have connection with professionals who have passed through the school and are already practicing. That becomes your first leverage. That is why you see average lawyer from Nigeria. You cannot see a reasonable lawyer in Nigeria who does not have connection to a practicing lawyer. It's simple. In law school, there are things they do there. Are you getting what I'm saying? So communities aligns you better to networks that can change your situation in the area where you are interested. Then number 7, recognize problems beyond your immediate geography. Recognize problems beyond your immediate geography and build solution blueprints for those problems. This is now where it gets serious. Gradually, we will be wrapping up very soon. This is now where it gets serious. For instance, I saw a list of 100 most influential African youths, not African youth, African, maybe under 40, not under 40. There are different lists like that. I don't want to, they shall call them African voices or something. So when I saw the list, before I opened it, I listed 10 people. I said, if I don't see these 10 people on this list, I'm not going to read it. I said, if these 10 people are not on this list, I just know that they have done Awuruju politics. I'm not going to read this document. So before checking, I just first went through from top to bottom. I saw all of them. I saw all of them. Why did they recognize them? You will understand in the next 2 points I want to mention. So, but first, if you cannot spot problems that are beyond you, there is nothing that can make you have relevance beyond your immediate environment. If you cannot spot problems, this is the reason why when people even leave Africa to Western world, they get to those places and become subservient. They get to those places and become what you call unskilled workers. Till tomorrow, it still baffles me that somebody will borrow money, £18,000,
Naira will be converted to pounds to go and study in UK, do master's degree, and now use the master's degree to do care jobs. It's still one of the things that there is nobody on earth that can convince me and I will understand it. That people will take close to 25 million of their own money or equivalents of it, borrow money to go and pay deposit, be working tirelessly day and night as if their life want to perish. Then you will now finish that course to go and do care jobs. I asked a question from somebody and the person did not have answer. I said, I don't have issues with care jobs because it's paying your bills. And when you convert your money to Naira, you ball now. Everybody will respect you at home. You can send money. I said, but after 3 years of doing this job, tell me, what stake can you ever hold in United Kingdom for the rest of your life? Because Western world is not Nigeria, where you just present a certificate without explaining what you were doing for the last 3 years. So if in 3 years, all you were doing is care jobs, automatically, there are jobs you will never apply for again, even though the certificate you have supposedly should prepare you for it. I said, are you guys not seeing this thing as arrest of capacity? First, you carry our hand-earned money, you go and dump it on UK government. Then UK government now gives you something small in return as payment for you to clean the diaper of their aged people. That their own children, what their own children will not even do. I'm not saying the children of UK, the children of the parents whose diaper you are cleaning, the children will never even do that. I said somebody will do that. So it's not my duty. I've said it. Poverty will not leave the world. Ignorance will not leave the world. So I've deleted from my mind all these statements. We want to eradicate poverty. We want to eradicate ignorance. I'm not stupid. I don't do those kind of nonsense again. I only want selected few who can leave that block of poor thinkers so that their own life can lift other people. The remaining people, there's nothing you can do. For those who are my mentees, you remember when I was teaching you about the triangle, the quadrant of life, right? You will see that the thing narrows down as you move towards the top. For the base of the pyramid to be maintained, there is need for a lot of people to be there. Because if that base is not wide, it won't form a pyramid again. It will look like a square. Everybody will look equal. So people above can fall because they can't change anyhow. But because the base is wide, people above can misbehave. You are the one bearing them. So people at the top must keep a lot of people low so that they can have base for them to move the way they like. If they shake like this, they won't fall because the base is solid. It's like a cone. When the base is wide, the top cannot fall. So recognize problems beyond your immediate geography, then begin to prepare solution blueprints. Now, guys, listen, this is where culture penetration now becomes impossible. If you want to go to UK, guys, I'm asking you on this platform, do you have an idea that UK people can patronize? Mark Zuckerberg did not come to Nigeria. He built Facebook. The Facebook went all over, right? He didn't even plan to build Facebook for the whole world. I can send the video to you guys if you need it. He was sharing on the platform and he said, the issue of Facebook, I did not plan that for the whole world. He said, but I have conceived the idea that this thing is going to go all over the world. But I never knew I would be the one to fulfill it. He said, all I have in mind was that when we were leaving school, we saw that we couldn't access some of our friends. He said, then I look at it. What can I do to make sure that the people we are separating from physically, we are still connected digitally? He said that is why we call it Facebook. A book, you see, you have been doing yearbook on campus, right? Where you can see the passport of your classmate. That's the concept behind Facebook. He said, but this one is not going just to be a book I'm keeping on my shelf. It's going to be a book where I can send you message and you can respond. He said, that's why we started with friend request. Send friend request. I accept. Then later we move on. As they were developing, the ideas began to expand. Okay, since you want to see our faces, let us be able to show pictures. He said, I did that only for my set. Then believing that it will revolutionize my campus. Then he said, then the day those guys, they were like 3 or how many that now started the group. They even have to they sign out of the university just to go and bet that idea. But listen to me. He said the time they were writing that thing, they said to themselves that one day somebody will take this idea around the whole world. But he said, but amazingly, it happened in our own presence. Look at the guy that formed Zoom. Look at different kind of stuffs happening now. So if you can spot a problem that is beyond you, and you know the solution blueprint to solve that problem, guys, there is no border of nation that cannot collapse for you. There is no border of nation that cannot collapse for you. There are special classes of visa. It's not just every visa that is B1, tourism visa, student visa, all those things. There are several types of visa. If you are reading it online, you will be shocked that, are you kidding me? There is a classified visa for innovators in every country. There is a classified visa. Even today, if your business is doing close to 50 million naira, I'm not even saying $50,000, 50 million naira, if you are doing a turnover of close to 50 million naira in that Nigeria, you can enter United States at will. America is the toughest country to enter in the world, especially from Africa. No doubt, it's true. But if you are doing that, so what is the idea, guys? I started with, you should start very early. Identify your own niche. Where do you want to be? If you want to be in academics, don't go and look for a job after school. If you want to be in research, don't go and look for a job after school. There are schools that will give you scholarship. They will sponsor your program and will be giving you money that at least you can be using to feed yourself while they are still preparing you to be better equipped as a researcher. So if you commence PhD at age 23, let's say you are even doing that PhD for 5 years, at age 28, you will have been a PhD holder from the first world country, transversing different kind of geography. So commencing early. If you want to do business, then you need to decide what aspect of economic sector am I going to enter. When you now decide all these people, that will now decide the choice of whom you choose as your mentor. And you see, I have a lot of my mentees here, but let me say this to you. It is not compulsory that you have only one mentor. I'm telling you that today, in case you have never had that. It's not compulsory. Because there is a central mentor whom you are accountable to, probably because of what the person represents in value and the like. But there is always a specific one for your immediate feed. That person must have been someone who has achieved what you are still trusting God to achieve. So if you're a fashion designer, TGF, you are here. If you have connection to somebody like, is it Sheyi Vodi, or what do they call that guy on Instagram that is sewing clothes for all the celebrities in Nigeria? They have gone to wear clothes in the shop, and I saw those things online. If you follow that guy, thank you, Sheyi Vodi. If you follow that guy alone, your orientation will change. I can't teach you what Sheyi Vodi can teach you. I will be overrating myself. That's why I look at a lot of people who make only their pastors the only person they listen to. I say, wait, are you only going to do ministry? If it is not ministry alone you are doing, how do you think all the information required for you to scale will come from that man who has never done what you want to do? Guys, wake up. Guys, wake up. Guys, wake up. So the idea that is beyond you, put it on board. Let it be clear that there is something propelling your heart, that if you now meet a financier today, it should be an idea that is sellable. This is what is lacking in our world. I share the story of a guy that somebody called and said, if I give you 2 million today, what are you going to do with it? He said, let me go and think about it. Meanwhile, these are people who are praying and fasting every day that God should send helper. They now ask you blank check. If I give you 2 million, what are you going to do? I need to go and think about it. It means he was never ready for it. But if you meet a 22-year-old entrepreneur in first world, if you talk about $1 million, he will tell you, I'm going to send you a proposal tomorrow. At 22, you see people doing real estate deals of $1 million. That's 1.48 billion naira in their 20s. So guys, normalize listening to all these kind of things. Break away from small thinking. Commence early what you want to do. Do it as if you are dumb. Don't let anybody talk you against it. All this idea, you want to go and chase what is not it for 5 years, you now come back, you will do a lot of chasing, and there is a limit to how far you can go when you enter anywhere late in life. I know God's restore seasons, no doubt. But I don't know if you are now starting at 38 as entry level in an organization. I don't know the magic you want to do to get to CEO before you retire. I don't know. Maybe you will kill the CEO and announce yourself. Go and check in Ibadan, as local as that Ibadan is. You know, the immediate past CBN, MD of First Bank, he studied veterinary medicine in UI. Then go and check. At age 20-something, all these people have established a career. They didn't even study abroad. And I asked myself, how did we get to this point? Ambody already finished university at age 21, the former governor of Lagos State. Be reading people's profile, normalize it. At age 29, Seyi Makinde already launched his first business. And before contesting for governor, he was already a billionaire. In fact, when he got married, they even gave him something like oil well or something. And he studied, electrical engineering from Unilag. Guys, you need to begin to think beyond yourself. If Western people who have access to other countries, they don't even think about Japan. Their idea is, I will make my idea go before me. So whenever they are now coming to your country, they are coming as asset owners there. The day Mark Zuckerberg came to Nigeria, how many of you remember how many tough politicians went to receive him? That was his first visit to the country. That was his first visit. In our own case, when we travel to this part of the world, if you are a public figure in Nigeria, the people from your own country will come and present flower to you at the airport. People from your own country, not the people from the country you are going to. But in our case, when those who are public figures in this part of the world come to our country, the best of our people will be there to receive them. This narrative cannot change, guys, until what we are bringing to the table in global scheme of things, they are things of global relevance. If you are getting value, say I get value, put it in the comment section. So now that we are wrapping up, all right, there's a part of the conversation that I can't go into today. I can't. And the reason why I can't is that it will shock you for me to go into that place. And I'm going to do that in a closer place. So number 9, you need to learn how to project and position. Those who listen to me on different platforms, I'm still going to talk about this on the platform tomorrow. Positioning and projection. I told a friend, I said, we were in Akumba together, right? 2015, we graduated. This is 2014. By November this year, it will be 9 years that we parted. Except for those we met together when we went for clearance in 2016. I said, if we have left school 9 years ago, and you are counting me among the people in your network, I said, you are being delusional. He said, how do you mean? And are you not my friend? I said, no, that's not it. Number 1, I don't know what you have used the last 8 to 9 years of your life to do. This is, I'm teaching you what positioning is, because we hear it, we don't know what it means. Positioning means people around you, they can recognize the new version of you. If you have studied cyber security, make sure that people around you, they are aware. If not, money that should come to you will go out. If not, gigs that should come to you will go out. Somebody will say, I'm a copywriter. The person they are sleeping in the same room is not even aware. Somebody will say, I'm into painting, I'm into graphic design. The ones that they are gisting together every day is not aware. If people are not aware of your new skills, how will they bring clients for you? So positioning means you stand where you can see opportunities and opportunity can see you. That will now lead me to say, if I open your social media pages now, apart from the fact that you are watching Tauma, you are watching, who else again is there? Some of you are even watching Lege Miami. There's one boy in Nigeria, they call him Lege, that is doing matchmaking. He said, hello, where are you calling from? How old are you? Have you been married before? I say, who do you like? I like Mighty David. Say, put your phone and move back. Turn around, let us see you. And and you see a lot of people queuing there. 24 years old girl is already looking for a husband. I said, wait, what kilo shele now? Let us understand this thing. All right. So if I open your social media page now, what will I see about you there? All of you introduce yourself for those who started with us, and you said, this is what you do. Somebody said, is probably a front-end developer. Can I see that on your profile? If I open your WhatsApp now, I'm likely going to see in God we trust. As if we are trusting Satan. If we go to your Facebook, it will say Flaming Zion. As though the rest of us are living inside freezer. We are not flaming. Meanwhile, let me teach you how you can earn in dollars without leaving Nigeria. Go online. Identify the skills that are, they call it on-demand skills in the Western world. Write them out. Which of those skills do you have? Identify it. Go and master it very well. Because the people in their own country, they are charging too much. Are you getting what I'm saying? Then create a profile, go on LinkedIn, build your profile well. Send your reviews. Those who have worked for, what they commented about your work, put it there. Let works be coming from foreign countries. It will amaze you that you can help somebody design a simple book and they will pay you $500. Because the people who write in America here will tell you that if you can't pay 2,000, I will not do it. Meanwhile, if you collect $500 and you get this work done in 3 days or 1 week in Nigeria, or let's even say 2 weeks, you have collected 750,000. Which employment will give you 750K if you are not working with a company in Nigeria? Even if you are working with a company, if you have not entered supervisory role, your salary is still around 500K. Are you getting what I'm saying, guys? So all these things you are learning in school, there are business aspects of it. Do you know it? If you don't even know it, how do you even know how to build solution blueprint? But when you know it, build a solution blueprint and be proficient there. When you are proficient there, go digital. Because in the future, there is nothing that is not digital. Pastor Kuleshorian will say, a pastor in the future is a tech man that is doing preaching. He said, a teacher in the future is a tech man that is doing teaching. Say, because everything is technology. So you must know how to make your own crafts. operational in the digital space. And finally, where you are by location and the likes, since it's not an advantage, question everything. Write it down. I know it doesn't look deep for you, but some of you, it is when you clock 30 years, 35 years, you will now realize that, wait, I have been living my life in a patterned way without understanding before. Question everything. In human history, majority have never been correct. In human history, majority, they have never been correct before. So because majority have never been correct, for you to accept what more people are doing, it means you have accepted to be wrong. You don't need to be argumentative. Everything you see, question it enough that what exactly is this person trying to do around me? What exactly is this product meant to achieve? What exactly is this platform designed to accomplish? So that you by yourself can predict the outcome of every of your action before they come. If things happen to you by surprise every time, it means you are not a reasonable person. With due respect. Because a good thinker, by the Spirit of God inside of you, is that everything you are doing, you must be able to predict the possible options. And all your possible options, you should be able to have solution that if it turns out this way, this is where they are going to meet me. If it turns out this way, this is where they are going to meet me. And in most cases, your experiences will be that all your predictions, your outcome does not fall out of them. If your outcomes, they are always new. There are things you never expected. Just forget it that you are living your life to chances. So question everything. Question everything. Now, all these things will not be possible except by three things. Number one, the blessing that we have in God. Apostle Paul says, I plant, Apollo water it. It is God that gives increase. Let me be honest with you. It is not the most hardworking person on earth that is the most prosperous. He is not even the smartest person that is the most influential. It is what God bless that is blessed. It is what God blesses that is blessed. Never declare independence from God. It is not a religious gathering, but I know why I'm telling you that. Then number two, never downplay your intelligence because of godliness. Now, each of these points, I can teach for 1 hour on every of these statements because they are big. But never downplay your intelligence. This is exactly why Africa is where it is now. Everything, we just believe that God will do it, God will fix it, God will do it, God will fix it, God will do it, God will fix it. Meanwhile, God is also saying, I have put you in charge to fix it. When will you be responsible? So never downplay your intelligence because of what God has done. Number three, whatever it will take you, try as much as possible not to be operating with limited internet access. But you will understand. Why do you think in UK, in US, in Canada, you will pay for Wi-Fi? And a lot of times, what they will load your Wi-Fi with, you won't be able to exhaust it around the week, around the month. You have to pay for another one. But in Nigeria, one, you have been incapacitated financially. You will now have data. When you even have reasonable videos to watch online, after watching it for 15 minutes, you're already checking your data. I say you have 200 MB more. This is where people get finished. I bet you many of you, the trainings you started, the courses you registered for, you didn't finish them because you were afraid of data. You can't be afraid of data in this world we are in. You can't. I think allow me to stop there for now, so that I can entertain 2 questions. Wow, it's already 3 p.m. Then we can call it a day. Thank you for your time. Thank you. Questions? Oh, let me hand over to Gabriel. He knows what to do.
So thank you so much. Man, tonight is really a great time and gain a lot of values, and but my notepad is full and I need to go back to it and digest it again. So please, all the participants, if you have a question, if you are convenient to ask, you can just raise your hand. So I will call you. And if you want to drop it in the chat box, you can do the same thing. So please, if you have your question, you can raise your hand so that I can recognize you. Or if you are convenient to drop it in the chat box, whichever way you choose to do it, you will get it. So please, let's do that. So just before we come up with any of the question, I guess some of the participants are typing already. Yes, somebody said he has a question. You can go on. Please, let me see. All right. Benjamin Ilesomi, please unmute your mic and speak. You can ask your question.
Can we hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. So, first and foremost, appreciate Pastor Olawale Ajisafe for this session. It was really mind-blowing, very thoughtful-provoking session. I was really blessed by it. My question, I have like 2 questions, but the first question, starting when you were talking about connections, like people to talk to, you to roll with while you're in school, I wanted to ask that what can a person do if you are in a place where, like you said, environment matters to everything you want to achieve in life? What can you do where the circle of your friends, even from home and in school, are not up to the level of where you want to be in life, and in your environment, on your geographical location, you have not have the point to go out and meet people, and yet with this particular session, that maybe someone like that person heard this session, how can someone make friends, or how can someone connect to people in the Western world, not actually in the Western world, any phases of life that do what you are doing and can be and is ready to actually partner with you? That's number one. Number two question is that one of the things I've realized so well is that, for a person to want to leverage on his opportunities to connect with other people, there's some people that you will wish to connect to, maybe because of your own personal breeding character, they did not allow you into their personal space, and you really want to actually have this flow of chats, have this flow of dialogue with them to see how they're doing things and how you can better improve yourself with them. But they themselves, maybe because of their breeding character, they did not give presence to your own take about their own life. So in that situation, what can someone do? That's my second question. I hope I'm clear enough, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Your questions are clear. Should we take all the questions so that I can address them at once? Thank you.
Yes, I think somebody said he has a question in there. Okay. Adedayo Samuel, I hope I'm correct. Please, you can ask your question. You said you have a question. You can ask your question, please.
Yes, I was the one that just asked my questions now.
Okay, are you the same person with
Ben is the
Benjamin?
next person.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, I'm the next person. Thanks so much, Pastor Wale Ajisafe. Just to add to the question that Samuel has asked earlier. So there's a part talked about normalizing being in the company of top performers. I just want to ask so that to prepare myself and as I start to get into it, there's a way someone can be informed that the first time you do something, it will not be noticed. So I just want to ask someone, how can someone get to those kind of top performance, like those kind of circumstances, and not be moved by this? And also there's other aspect where you say, the fourth point, you say we should commence our invention journey early. This Hearing this actually changed my mind on this and changed my mind on the education system in Nigeria. I'm sure when you also got there, you saw a change of mindset, and there's some things you encounter that change your mind. So, sir, what are the probably I don't know whether it's a private one or yeah. So, what are the things you advise someone like me to change or work on that will affect my mind? Because just like you said, you spend the whole of like 30 decades in Nigeria. I spent more than 2 decades in Nigeria, and there have been a lot of things that's happened. So, what are the kind of yes, you've given a lot advice, but how can someone reinvent the journey early again? So, thanks, sir.
All right. Thank you, Ben. I didn't say 30 decades. It's 3 decades. 30 decades is 300 years. None of us even live up to that on this earth. So, but thank you for those very important questions. Again, pre-order my book. Engineer Gabriel, you can send the link to the platform for those who need that. Why I say you should commence your reinvention journey early is our capacity is naturally arrested by our environment. All of you understand that. Your question made it very clear that you understood that one. Because of that, we need to start on learning deliberately. It must be deliberate. If you are not deliberate, we will live our life to chances. Now, it's a different thing if you are coming from background where people have been able to break through. They have been able to enter into another level. By that alone, you can enter into their harvest. But for me, I don't have parents who are educated. I can't mention my parents' name at national level and anybody will open any door for me. I can only mention them in they have done well, they maintain good character, they sent all of us to school. So I will be foolish to just take life naturally and say, let it just continue to go like that. First, when I got to America, like you said, that there were things I've seen that have changed my mind. No, everything I'm teaching here, I've been teaching them before I left Nigeria. At least, I have some of my people here. Gabriel, Esther has been with me for many years. I don't know if Esther is still online. So these are the things I've been teaching, except that I teach them in a close circle. In fact, this kind of numbers is what we have, except when I'm doing Summit of the Creatives. Today, we plan to have more people here. I don't know, maybe the link was sent late, a lot of things happened. But again, I wouldn't, because of number, not teach what I want to teach. So what I'm saying is, what I'm teaching right now is not a function of because of where I am. It's the thought process I've been holding for long. However, there are things that changed when I got here. Why not? Why won't there be? But before I came here, I've been relating with the ideology of this place. That's why I've never applied to 2 countries in my life. I've read about them. I knew where I wanted to be. My wife was to go to UK as a nurse. The year I wanted to get married, I said, well, if you will be going to UK, I'd like you to go so that we won't marry now. We will now decide who will marry later, because I didn't see myself then in the United Kingdom. I was not saying that out of emotion. I was saying that out of precision of what I understand. Or what I understood? Are you getting what I'm saying? How did I do that? The authors I read most are American authors. So a lot of things people say, I will not argue with you, but I don't agree to it. And I have points to to dispute what you are saying. Do you get the idea now? So starting the journey early will mean that you by yourself begin to think with the intelligence of people higher than you. If I enter your library and I see the kind of authors you read, I will just smile. I won't say a word, because except you are using them as decoration. But if truly you are reading and I see the list of authors you listen to, I will ask you to also open your laptop. I will go to your watched video. When I see the people you listen to, I know how you are thinking. Because look at what this man said. He said, everything we see consistently, they put our mind in autopilot. That is why if you have been driving for long, you will drive without brake, except when you are trying to check traffic light. Because it's something you've been doing for long, You just know that when I held this, when the moment I put my hand like this, my leg, you don't even, you can't be checking where's my leg. It is called autopilot. If you engage your mind massively with thoughts that are beyond you, you are becoming another one. Another man. It may not show immediately until the day you open your mouth to speak. Everybody will know that you are not thinking at the same level. And it is the thought process of people that betray them the day they have access to great people. That will lead me to your next question. Right? That is what will betray them. Because you get to people you have been desiring to be in their company, or for you to speak for 2 minutes and they just believe that I will never give access to this young man again. You must have been able to learn their language, and they won't open their doors to you easily. Oh, that's the truth. They won't. A lot of times, if they have become largely successful, you will either need to serve them or pay them to be in their circle. Average successful public figure in the world, they have their platforms. So if you really want to connect to anybody, it's easy. How? Go to their platform, engage with what they are doing, listen to them, understand things they like. The day you are meeting, do it. Let me share with you how one of my friends got into Stephen Akitayo easily. He has been following Stephen Akitayo online. He has been following him. He now saw that Stephen was coming to speak in Ibadan. You know, Stephen Akitayo is a real estate mogul that is a billionaire now, you know. So he wanted to attend the program. He now decided to draw, what do you call this thing? You know, those portraits that used to craft like a picture. He put something customized with the name of Stephen Akitayo, and he took it there. You know, when they were done with the conference, they were preventing people from seeing Stephen Akitayo. But he told the protocol, I have a gift for Dr. Stephen. Oh, they just said, hold on. They went to meet him inside. Somebody had a gift for you outside. He said he has been following. He said, bring him in. That was all. Now, he has broken the protocol. The next thing now is, are you trained on how to talk? Because breaking the protocol is a part. Talking reasonably is another part. So by the time he got there, he greeted him. You know that you don't have much time. Celebrate the man. This is what I've learned following you. This is what I'm doing. Hey, don't miss that opportunity if need be. This is what I'm doing. This is the area I feel, sir, that I would like to connect. And I say, take this my card, reach out to so and so. The rest is history. Are you seeing that? Look at somebody like Yemi Kings, how he got to T.Y. Bello. I've also shared this story a lot in Sphere of Light Church. He couldn't locate T.Y. Bello because they were not having grant to meet. But one day, T.Y. Bello was to speak in a program. Yemi Kings went there. And when Yemi Kings got there, he has learned that this woman liked Jonah. Packaged Jonah, put something on it. He couldn't even have seats. It was that bad. As at that time, Yemi King was so unrecognized that they didn't give him seat in that conference. He had to hang around the window. But after the whole thing, he just went and said, man, I have this gift for you. From that crowd, the woman collected it, gave it to the protocol, and now said, wait to see me. Because he has studied the woman to understand what she likes. And after that, the woman brought her closer and said, he now showed him some things that he said, these things I don't teach it in public. He said, stay around me. If your life does not change, you can leave me. At least you know, I know you're in Sphere of Light. All of us know Yemi Kings today. If you want to take just a photo session in Yemi Kings studio, you will know how much of money that will leave your pocket. So you can enter into any group, right? If you learn their language, then you can't just do it free of charge. Somebody should not just assume that I'll pick my phone now, I just message Bishop T.D. Jakes. It's not even going to see it. It's never going to see it. So you must walk yourself into their meetings. If you have opportunity to ask questions, ask reasonable questions, then find a way around it. There is always a way. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question. Now, along the line too, this one is also very key. If you want to be in certain companies, it is not compulsory you relate with the apex person there. There are people who have stayed around him enough to carry the possibilities he carries. those ones are easier for you to access more than those people. Are you seeing that? So if you want to, for instance, see, I messaged one man on Facebook, on Instagram. I have never waited in any meeting to see a man of God in my life. I've never done it. I've never booked an appointment. But when I said those things before, I feel proud about it. But later I said to myself, I said, because you don't have serious things you are doing. By the time you begin to do serious things, you will know that you will book appointment to see some people in your life. So I now messaged someone. I said I needed to see him, this and this and that. No, I didn't even say I needed to see him. I said I needed him to do this for me. I was glad first that he responded. He now told me that I'm sorry. I will not be able to do what you are asking for. Right? I wanted the man to write the foreword of my book. We have never spoken. Now, pay attention. When you send message to people, if you don't have their private email, it matters the account you are using to engage them. Before they respond to you, they will go and check you out. So they will first check and say, what's this guy himself doing? Okay, you have less than 1,000 followers. It means, one, you are not popular. But let's see, maybe it's fame that has not come. Is it reasonable? They read what you have been posting. When they check what you have been posting, okay, let me respond to him. Are you getting what I'm saying? So if the moment you cross certain levels in life, if you have just 5,000 followers and you want to engage some people online, it's easier for you, especially if you have reasonable content. The moment they check you as, okay, this guy is doing something, if you're organizing program, put your distance out, let them see it there. So you can get into the company of any person. So the first question, I've technically answered it with these two. You see, the issue of networking with people beyond your level, it is first in your own self-development. I've met a few people. How many places have we really been? I schooled in Akumba. I served in Benue. I worked in a real estate company. Then I work in two pharmaceutical companies. Then in Lagos, Ibadan, that's all. This is the first thing. What betrays people with poor background is that they already have, unfortunately and unconsciously, they already have a poverty consciousness. Thought that if they have opportunity to meet with people who are doing serious things, they by themselves will say things they won't know when they will have said it, that will make the person know that, oh, sorry, it's a mistake that we are making. You need to do a lot about what we call self-confidence. One of my friends went to a church. He wanted to ask a lady out. I've shared this story with some of our guys there. And he has prepared what to tell the girl after the meeting. She greeted the lady answered him in the service. But when they got to offering time, the lady began to count 1,000 like 20. And my guy wanted to drop maybe 200. The girl was just counting 1,000 mint. So the guy was like, what's going on here? And the girl packed everything, put it inside the offering envelope, and drop it. The guy could not give offering again. So he began to pretend like, I want to do transfer. I want to do transfer. Baba no they do transfer. Him don't cash out. Now, you see where the problem is. After that, the lady that greeted him, that he planned to talk to, they were already like, okay, I'm going to talk to, I'd like to say hello to you after service. He left by himself. I said, Baba, wait happen. He said, Baba, no now. I cannot embarrass myself now. You see that? It's a consciousness. Who is telling you that? You have 500 naira to give as offering. Is that what your mentality is? That is what your current situation is saying. So naturally, people are defeated. That's why I said rooms vomit people because their background is speaking, but they are not aware. I was at this Ondo State House of Assembly 2015. I was the chairman of building committee in SFA. So we wanted to go and see some politicians. And when I entered their nest, they took us from one people to another. We met a Bisheni from Ondo South. We met the son of Obatero, this richest monarch, the second richest monarch in West Africa. So we met his son, who is now a rep member. I was in House of Assembly then. And he was just saying all kinds of things in his office. I went straight for him and I talked to him and I left. And our guys were like, what are you saying? I said that I was not trying to be rude. You can't just condescend because you felt we are from Adekunle Najas University. And you ask of our names, as we were mentioning our name, none of our parents' name is sounding like someone you have heard. And you ask, are you from Ondo State? Say, yes. So he knew that people who are doing big things in Ondo State, he virtually would have known all of them. So he just said, hold on there, I'm still talking. I said, all right, sir. We waited. In my presence, this guy carried 2 guests like this and was doing all kinds. And I'll say, hey, young man, you are even inviting me to donate for your fellowship. Who told you that I'm a Christian? That was where I got angry. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So it matters, all right, your personal consciousness. And I've written it on my page one time that you cannot be more bold. You cannot be self-confident at your knowledge level. If you don't have money, you must know something. It is that thing that will be propelling you. In Job was telling the people, he said, I'm not inferior to you because I know what you know. He didn't say because I have the money you have. He said, no, because I know what you know. Why will I feel inferior? So it is first knowledge and a consciousness. Now, when you now meet those people, the first thing is don't present yourself as somebody who is just an opportunist. Present yourself as a value-adding personality. This is where people miss out. I've met guys that where we connected, those were the days we were carrying bikes around the city, and they have cars, they were living in bigger apartments. Hey, Baba, also this and this and that. I will never borrow money from you. Go and master this thing. Stop borrowing money from people that you want to build long-lasting relationship with. If you still borrow at all, borrow from people you have established relationship with. A relationship that you are still preparing, that you have not cemented, the moment you introduce borrowing, you have finished everything. They will give you that money and block you. Say, this is the last time I'm going to give this guy space. Because when you get there, try to look at where they need help. So some of those guys, they will just be talking and say, okay, I have an idea about this. What if we do it this way? What? Just a suggestion. Now look at you like, this man, you will see it in their mind that they really were not expecting much from you. That is condescending, but you are proving them wrong. The next time they will pick their own phone to call you and we talk about so and so. Are you getting it now? The moment the dynamic changes, don't feel privileged. Because I know many of you are from religious background. You have been taught to say, I appreciate privilege. It's not everywhere you appreciate privilege. No, it's not everywhere. You must appreciate every privilege, but know what is not a privilege. If your classmate is extending hands of friendship towards you, don't say, I count it a privilege to be your friend. What kind of nonsense is that? Is a mutual something, is a win-win. But average person don't do this. Even if they're not saying it with their mouth, there is a way they are shaking. They like on the birthday of their friend, they're asking, where's your clothes? I can help you carry it. Go and check some of the poor guys in your class who have become close to the top guys who even have cars. You see that those guys have turned many of them to the errand boys. They just say, hey, Klewa, take my car key, buy me lolly lomu, come by. Classmates one year, they're talking to their classmates. Now, why you find it difficult to relate with that person? They are relating, but they are relating at the extreme end. Don't operate at that level. So, first of all, create the network. Now, when that network is not opening, for the first question, this is why I say join communities. If you join communities and they are paying, while I was in Nigeria, no, not while I was in Nigeria, while I was doing masters in UI, I registered at the Senior Staff Club of University of Ibadan. So I will go there on Saturday to swim. Meanwhile, I intentionally will not swim with students. I was swimming with those professors. I did not make those choices by impulse. It's like I was programming myself or something. So they were the ones I was seeing. The moment I know the time they will come, when the general people come, I will leave the water, I'll go and wear my clothes. I'm going home straight. All these one that girls are now carrying boys inside the water. It has never met me there. What is the idea? If you have opportunity of paid platform, pay and be there. Be in the room. One day, conversation will come up. You will have contribution. There is no way they will not notice you. It's not even that you are trying to. So join the platforms where they are present. Make contributions there that are significant. The day you now have entry point, don't forget to sell yourself. I don't know if I've answered the questions of everybody. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Really a great time this evening. Thank you so much, sir. And I think that's all the questions we have for now. Anyway, if you have any other questions, that might be some other time that we might have this meeting again. Thank you so much. For all our participants, we want to thank you for your endurance. Thank you, because we scheduled the meeting for 2 hours, but we should be on the time, and want to believe that we all get the value for it. So thank you so much. If there's any other communication on how you are going to get the audio record or probably the video record, we'll let you know via your email. So please stay connected. I'm going to post the mentorship group. I'll post the link now. So please, if you want to join, you can reach out to Pastor Wale Ajisafe personally on a personal note. But I'll post the group now. I'll post the link. Thank you so much. And to our great host, Pastor Wale, thank you for this evening. We really appreciate for always giving us the best at all time. Pray that God will continue to bless you more and more. And please, for the strategic reinvention launching, it is on Sunday. Please, if you can make yourself available.
It's on Saturday, please.
Oh, on Saturday, yes. On Saturday. Yes. So if you can make yourself available, we appreciate. And also, don't forget, you can pre-order the book. I've sent the link as well. Thank you so much. This is where we want to tie the knots. So just unmute your mic and say, thank you, sir, if you get the value. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Thanks so much, Pastor.
Thank you, sir.
I look forward to more of this. Thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So grateful.
Thank you,
Learned
sir.
a lot.
Thank you for the gift of you.
You are all welcome. See you on Saturday, hopefully. All right, engineer, we can call it a day.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, God bless you all.
Yeah. Amen.